Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I hope you're all well, enjoying the cold weather here in Joey's.
Yes, very cold weather, but at least the sun is out.
The sun's coming out a bit now.
Eventually, at 11 o'clock was about time.
At 11:11.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you very much to all of you in South Africa and from everywhere in the world where you are watching us. Be blessed. I hope that you are all well. Let us hear your comments. Put a little heart, little high. So
high fives,
high five. So we know that you are all there. Remember that it's not so easy for us to respond immediately to your comments, but we will eventually do so.
We'll send smoke signals.
Yeah, during the broadcasts. Okay, so let's give it, as usual, a little bit of time so technology can work its magic and the universe can help out and bring all the best.
I hope everyone's got a cup of coffee.
Yeah. That's it. So let's start by that. Grab your
ching.
A little bit of Salvador Dali on my side.
And a bit of love, man.
Never go wrong. So thank you so much. Make yourself comfortable. Grab your cup of coffee, your cup of tea, your
oats.
Smoothie. It's okay if you are still wearing your pajamas and if it's very early or you're just about to go to bed, in case you are like on the sides of Australia as well. We're going to give it a minute or two and to allow everybody to make themselves comfortable and join our conversation. And today we're going to talk about receiving healing and about the past week's events. Also, last week conversation with beautiful Ines and what was the insights and the motivations that came to your side. What you've been doing this week, what we have been doing.
We've been up to so much.
Yeah, so we're going to share all of this with you, and we're going to give it 1 minute right now. So go. Your toilet, your cup of coffee, your tea, and I'll see you in 1 minute. Okay? See you now. Okay.
They're still seeing us now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yeah, I think
I'm trying to.
The gremlins are going to keep us live for a minute anyway.
Yeah, gremlins are definitely.
The gremlins are keeping us live.
Okay, and we are back. Hope that you have your coffees and your teas. And I would like to start by picking up on we last stayed. We received an ISOP last week here at our channels, and how beautiful it is to hear all of those stories based on the most pure reality and scripts and not on in fiction, and that we are able to share that wisdom and those paths and those places. And we wish Anaya the Sophia all the best, and looking forward to hear more from her and about the developments also to this new beautiful property. And following all of that energy, we have at 11:11 received very, very, very good feedbacks as well. Remember that a couple of, I believe over almost 2 weeks ago, we were talking about resisting to healing and resisting to receive healing. And when we know that we got to that point of awareness and we got to that point where we understand types of healing and techniques and shifts, and we witness shift in our lives, and we feel the call to do further and to actually start that walk on self-development, but then we resist out of fear, out of environment.
Well, firstly, for you to be able to heal, you actually have to come to terms with the trauma that has occurred in your life, because without trauma, you can't. There's nothing to heal. So, with any development on a spiritual path, the first the first barrier that you have to overcome is recognizing the trauma that you've lived through or experienced, and then you have to, with your intent, want to be able to transmute that energy into something better. So instead of you lamenting the fact that you've been in a depressive state, or anxiety and frustration, you have to want to actually show the strength of will to overcome the trauma that you have faced and lived through. That puts you onto a path for healing. And obviously there are varying methodologies and varying ways in which to do that. And today we're going to discuss one of them.
Yes, and remember that about trauma and healings that are afflicted in us. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is a trauma in this existence. It can also be on past existences, or indirectly caused to us through family, karmic, cosmic energies, and so forth. And because we are this beautiful bubble, we carry a lot of message, and not all of the message that we carry are beneficial or of our understanding. So we take it as trauma as well.
And we're here in this dimension at this time, with the shift that's occurring on the planet, to heal generational curses and traumas. You've lived through many lifetimes. You've lived through millennia. All of those energies now need to be transmuted into something higher, into something better. This is what is occurring on the planet now with Gaia. She's raising her frequency and she's asking us to do the same thing in return. But before we do that, we have to come to certain hard realizations about where we are, who we are, how we got to this point. Face our demons, face our traumas, overcome them, become stronger, become better. And that's what this transcendence is all about. Anyway, that's my 5 cents worth.
Give us more 5.
So that's where we are as a species. We're evolving. We continually evolve. We didn't just end up with thumbs and God said, well, that's enough. They've evolved.
We still have appendix and coccyx.
Yeah, we're evolving consciously. We now need to evolve consciously. And this process, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not easy. There's a lot that you have to overcome. There's a lot that you have to face. Shadow work is involved, and you have to trust and have faith and belief that in the end it's all for your better self and better for the collective.
Yeah. Oh well, but definitely we are not here to tell you what you should or you should
Yeah.
not do. So let us start by thanking very much all of those that had the courage to take a leap of faith and to take lead on self-healing, on self-development, and on taking that shift and that journey. And by doing so, decided also to share that same journey with us.
You know, the hardest thing to work on is oneself. To self-develop it can be very scary, and you have to dig very deep in order to go down this path, because you're faced with a lot of your own illusions that you need to deal with and cleanse and release and heal, and it's not an easy task. A lot of people would rather, you know, give into ego and shell themselves to the reality of how truly they are living. So when you get into the ring with yourself, and you get into a boxing ring with yourself, it is a very difficult process to do. So we're very blessed at 1111 to those that have decided to help us.
Yeah,
and
we
help them.
And picking up on that the ego, you know, that's a very, very common shield, which is oh no, that doesn't belong to me. Yes, sometimes it doesn't belong to you. You should say no, it doesn't belong to me. It's your issue, and you are mirroring it into me. But it's also truth that a lot of times it's just easier to go back to that trigger and say that, oh no, I actually don't take part. That's yours. It's not mine. So taking the humbleness side of reflecting that, is it really me mirroring? Is it really my issue to resolve? So this week we had on our beginning of the journey a talk about resolving issues and addressing issues, and they can be physical, they can be emotional, they can also be spiritual, and they can be in ourselves or in others. And what we usually try to do when it's in others, we have a little bit of knowledge or wisdom because we have been on this spiritual path and we have learned some techniques, and we came through experiences and so forth. It's just natural that we jump in and we just want to assist and we just want to act. Aware, red flag. It's not for always for us to do something about it. We are not always having to because someone shared with us something that, oh, you are sharing with me, it's because I must do something about it. Sometimes we just need to listen and listen right to the end. Listen how you were actually saying that yesterday, Lloyd.
Listen with the intent to hear and not with the intent to respond. A lot of people always like to give an opinion about something, and it's not necessarily always the adequate response to a specific solution or situation. Sometimes all the person needs is for you to lend an ear. You know, be a sounding board. Don't give an opinion back. Don't respond in judgment or it's just, if you can just absorb for someone, sometimes maybe that's the best course of action to take, and just to be a pillar of support at a time when people most need it.
Yes. So talking about healing, and thank you, is a good way is asking spirit and asking other person's spirit. Exactly. Is this a call for me to help? Do you see that I can help you in any way? And do that in silence and listen to what the other person's spirit is telling you. And then if you hear that, then put it out loud and ask the person, do you feel that I can help you in any way? And how can I be of that service. And then, of course, there are some metaphysical tools that you can do, but also some other tools that you can do to yourself when it's to your own spirit and to your own healing. So this past week, we were very blessed with. We had 3 people, right? 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
No, we actually have 6 people that came that responded like that. They actually proactively came to us and in some way reacted to healing in different ways. And one of them, it was already 20 or almost a month ago. It was about on a request for regression or plant medicine, but it was about astral traveling and stopping that petition. And it came to us that it was really the time to facilitate a ceremony with plant medicine that we were just preparing to do it end of the year, right? And then it was also Lloyd's birthday.
Yeah, so thank you to everyone who sent messages and wished me a happy birthday with my 47th. And as Ines has said, we were brought to an understanding and an undertaking by certain developments that happened in our lives with certain people they were seeking solutions to their lives, and I was fortunate enough in 2018 to have undergone a ceremony, which actually put me on the path to wanting to become a shaman. The experience for me was so profound that I would have wanted every man, woman, and child on the planet to have experienced the same thing, so that they could come to their own conclusions and their own understandings of how things are. And so I procured some ingredients, and I've been waiting for the right time, because timing is everything. And as the plan unfolds, the time has become right for us to venture into this new realm, this new way. And we were very blessed to have started the process this week and crossed through the barrier. So I'm very blessed.
In that process, there was a call for years for Lloyd, and Lloyd has been you've been receiving teachings also with the shaman.
Yeah, I mean, I've been guided by my partner, but also I was mentored. I have been mentored by a renowned Johannesburg psychic and shaman, and under his guidance, I've been brought closer to certain, teachings. That process is ongoing. It never ends. You're always challenged and you're always pushed to achieve better and higher understandings. So, as I say, when you evolve, it doesn't stop. You keep shifting and you keep gaining new experiences and new understandings and implementing what you've learned into your life in order for it to become better, because that's why we're here, to sift through life and all its warts and all its beauty, and to find a balance in how you live, and because everything is about energy, how you vibrate, and what your frequency is. And I've been very blessed to have some experiences that have brought me to some profound understandings, and 1111 is a project that Ines and I have birthed in order to assist and to dispense the understandings and teachings that we have come into contact with, and that's we share it openly. We do so for if it improves our lives, and we hope that it does the same to you, for you.
Yes, and through that, also to share with you a bit for quite some years, a decade almost, I have been connecting with plant medicine and with Sacred Mother Aya, and I've been connecting with this combination plants and brewing it and cooking it and chanting and learning the chants and learning the different healings, and by one of my masters, Ayushkera, on the Indian tradition. And I've been holding space for many ceremonies as well. So when all of this calling came, felt that like a clap. Mother Aya, of course, because there are no coincidences, that the need of stepping forward and embracing it, and to facilitate it, that it was the time, and it was with my partner, and it was with my family, and that is the call of the lineage. So yes, I accept that she is quite strong, and she did the calling, and we have prepared it, myself and Lloyd, with the most beautiful energies and the most beautiful thought, and for the greater good, and for blissful journeys and diagnosis, and to be able to touch and facilitate the seek for truth and for origin of all of those that came to us. So Lloyd had a private.
I had my own little ceremony, which I'm very, very blessed and fortunate to have experienced. I have to just say, though, that when you deal with Mother Aya, this is not something that you do lightly. When you petition spirit world, you do so with the highest regard and honor and respect and reverence. This is not something that you do for fun and for thrills and spills. It is holy, and it is done with the deepest of respect. So it is a process of cleanse. You show your humility and your humbleness to spirit by fasting and cleansing your body. So I become very conscious about what I eat. So I have no alcohol. Generally, I limit my intake of meat substantially, and I'm on vegetables and fruit. So you show that you submit to the process, and by doing so, you align your intent with the energies of Mother Aya and Pachamama, so that they will imbue you with their knowledge, and that is a deep commitment that you take. This isn't something that you just wake up and decide, oh well, this is what I'm going to do on a Saturday night. As
it's
I say,
not
people,
pleasant.
Yeah, this isn't
no.
This isn't something that you just do. It's not a game park. You don't go to just for the thrill.
Yeah.
This is something that you seek out in order for you to bring you to a higher level of understanding of self, especially in order to process. We're all seekers. We're all wanting to know, the greater plan. And when you come into contact with shamans and Mother Aya, this is a doorway. It takes you through and opens up your eyes and your consciousness to a much greater understanding of who we are in the universe, in the cosmos. And that is a very special ceremony to take part in. So for me to have my partner, we brewed the tea together. So a lot of commitment, a lot of love, a lot of intent went into it. This, you don't just whip this up and throw it in the microwave and it's done in 30 seconds. There is a whole lot of love and care and patience that goes through it, that goes into it. So it was a very special week for me, having been done on my birthday.
And yes, so it was special both ways, also to facilitate and hold space and to assure that it would be a blissful.
Yeah, I mean, with these
blissful journey, and not,
my first experience having done it was it was intense. The purge was violent. It was, you regret actually doing it because the purge is so intense and so profound. But it brings you to such a connection with Earth, and such an understanding, and your frequencies become congruent. You understand the symbiosis that we experience between Earth and ourselves, and the relationship that needs to be in balance. For her to survive is as important as for us to survive, and vice versa. And where this is becoming more and more pertinent for humanity to come to understand, for our own survival. And what we're doing now is currently it's not sustainable. It's unsustainable. And we need to start grounding ourselves more and coming to deeper levels of existence. We become very frivolous in how we take things for granted. And this is one of these processes where you are exposed to the depth of spirit, and that is profound. So my first experience was hectic. I use that word lightly, but this time around, with Ines's help and her assistance and her guidance, it was a lot smoother. She was evident, clear, and concise. And I took away from it what I...
Did you got your answers? Are they coming? How was she? Was she assertive to you?
She was very clear, very evident, very specific. It happened all very quickly. So my purge started, about 40 minutes in?
Yeah.
Okay, so on average, your purge will happen sometime half an hour. Depends from person to person. You can't really say. But there is a purge that does happen, and then you're going under. This time I didn't cross the veil dimensionally. She kept me cocooned in a very safe space, but I did travel, and I was taken over mountaintops. I flew like an eagle over snow-capped peaks. For me, what seemed like at least half an hour to 40 minutes, but when you're in that state, time is very subjective. You're held in a constant. So it becomes very difficult for you to actually discern time.
And how did you prepare for it? How did you motivate? How was your motivation? How were your days besides your dieta? What was your intention for your ceremony, about what you were seeking, and what you've been given since then?
Well, I mean, we've come to birth 11/11. Let the journey begin, and obviously this plays into our role together and our future. So I asked Spirit and Pachamama and Mother Aya to guide me to some sort of, acknowledgement.
Were you seeking validation?
Well, not validation, just acknowledgement that what we're doing is right. I needed to know that.
That's a good motivation.
It's the right step. You never know when you're ready. And I was going to Pachamama and saying, with humility, I seek your permission to do this. Do you see this as viable? Do you see us progressing down this road and doing the work? And the answer came back very clear, no ambiguity. Mountaintops represent permanence. They represent stability. Obviously, having snow-capped peaks, flying over these snow-capped peaks, pristine, the majesty of it, that represents to me accomplishment. It represents success. It represents conquer. So for me, she was affirming what we want to do. So I've taken away from that the confidence that I need in order for me to progress and reach out and help others traverse that mountain. That's why we're here. So when you do these types of ceremonies, you're getting, it's like you're putting your fingers into a socket and you're connecting directly to the divine. You're getting a fiber connection straight to source, and source is imparting on you wisdom, understandings, knowledge. You go through the whole kaleidoscope of sacred geometry. You see shapes and you hear sounds and the colors. So that speaks to you on a much on your subconscious level, much higher level than your own conscious understanding. And those programs, because it's literally coding, your brain is coded. And those codings then start to play out in your life while the energies are with you. This isn't something that just you do for one night and then it ends. This is something that is gradually progressive. And interestingly, when I did the ceremony, I knew that not everything was going to be given to me in that session. There was going to be more information imparted to me as I progressed and accepted, because that's a huge part to this process. You have to accept. You have to be willing, and that takes a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, great. And the way that I saw it, it was a journey to origin and a journey to lineage, because that is as a Vaiushkero, that was the lineage that I've been entrusted, one in with Apu Shikon and Asungati Apu, which are the masculine spirits of the mountains of the Andes. And Lloyd had also been initiated in the beginning of this year to the Indian tradition, and the second leg of this lineage, and the cosmic one, that is anchored on the foothills of Alpushikon, is actually the representation of the colors and the sacred geometry. So when he shared then after his experience that the answer to his questions about and the validity of the work that he proposed to do, and out of heart and not out of ego, and if it was exactly for the greater good, and if it was being well received, and if this was going to be the way and the call, and the lineage just affirmed it, and that was the most beautiful gift.
Yeah.
Because we had the lineage very present, the acceptance all the way since preparation at all times, always acceptance,
Yeah, and honor,
and we are now very comfortable. We will facilitate ceremony for a group on the 29th of August. So by Monday will be definitely the last day of handing in the motivations, because at the minimum we will accept 1 week strict diet. And the motivation, of course, also needs to be for the greater good and for the right reasons. No one is here to propose, funny rides. That's not what we do, and there's nothing funny about it. And we also need our medic shaman to look into everybody individually, and the mental and the physical conditions, and to prepare for the 29th. So yes, forward us your questions. Contact us directly for your.
You can always DM us.
Yeah.
WhatsApp us.
Yes, and from this moment we have only 3. We can only accept 3 motivations, and we are very looking forward, very blessed, and the space is energetically and physically prepared, and we are absolutely in awe for this experience, and to welcome Mama Aya and Pachamama, Mama Kilia and Tata Inti into our ceremony.
Yeah, we'll be doing the Aya ceremony on the 29th, and in the morning we'll be doing Thanksgiving ceremony, and we'll also be welcoming the first rays back into our lives after having been cleansed and awoken. So it's a very special moment in your lives, and us as a couple to bear witness to your birthing is profound, and we are very humble and very honored that we are able to do this.
Yes, and we're going to have with us another more shamans with us, holding space and assisting on individual journeys. So I think that for this week, if you don't have any questions, do you have any questions on your side that you would like to leave to us? Please do so. Otherwise, just integrate our words, integrate this call, and direct message us for any query and any doubt, for now, for the future. check our website, www.1111 Let the Journey Begin, and read our story, our blog. Put your contributions. It's a very interactive space. It's a very safe and loving space, and we just hope that if you are watching this now or later with us, that somehow you feel that, you know what, I feel a call that I must somehow, I would like to speak further with these guys.
Yeah, that's why we're here. So, we're sending out a call, and if you hear the need, and you would like that, itch to be scratched, per se, by all means, contact us and help us. Let us help you facilitate your becoming, because that's what this is about.
Yeah, Murai Kani, you got called by many names, yet the one that remains with no name. Allow us and come to our ceremony, because we're celebrating what we are to become. Stay blessed.
Stay blessed. Stay safe.
And if not, we have one question here. So Sandy says, Lord, you are a different person, so much self-assured and glowing. I can't wait for the 29th. So excited about it.
Thank you, Sandy.
We are very excited to be able to support you as well, Sandy. Much love to you. Absolutely. And all of you, big hug. And stay blessed. And if not before, we will see you next week, Saturday at 11:11, same place.
Same time.
Stay blessed.
Stay blessed, everyone. Ciao.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.